it wasn't until I was on the show RuPaul's Drag Race that my sisters wanted to have an open discussion with my parents really about what they were doing. My sisters. So there's my one sister, my youngest sister. I put her hair up for her wedding. And then there's my other sister. She was very much more crunchy granola, so she did her stuff herself with my sister and then my nephew. My sister brought up the fact that she's like, when you call your son, what is your conversation like? It's like, hey, how's your house? How's the salon? How's the car running? Like, those are things. It's not about who this person is. That's like, oh, how's your shoes? Oh, I like your shoes. I like your outfit. You don't say anything about me. Like, so that don't ask, don't tell makes it sort of like, well, I don't really care about you as a person, but I care about the things in your life. And so she started to like realize like, oh, I guess that's not caring about someone. And my sisters also pointed out whenever there's a family reunion, you know, he's off in the corner, really not mingling with everybody else because he doesn't feel included. With RuPaul's Drag Race, they reached out to my mother to see if she wanted to be on the show, and she said absolutely not. And my sisters wanted to find out why. Like, why don't you feel comfortable talking about this? It's been 20 some years that you can't get over this. And my sister offered to come down to Florida with a camera and tape my mother and ask her questions. And so this is what led to this dialogue of really accepting who I am. And so she eventually realized that God didn't give her children to raise them as good Catholics and go out into the world and spread the joy of God. God challenged her with children to challenge her morals and her beliefs, to make her a better person, to really preach the message of God and love and acceptance, or, you know, the universe. So I think she eventually realized that, because it wasn't just me being gay. It's like her youngest child had a baby out of wedlock, you know, a bastard child, if you will. And so my one brother was into drugs, and my other sister was divorced, and then my other brother got divorced. It's like, you know, all these things that challenged her religious beliefs to make her a better person. So I think that's really what she realized, that you have to be challenged and go through a lot of shit in life to see the other side. You know, you're not going to see the rainbow without any rain. My mother now feels comfortable that she does talk to me about my personal life and, you know, and who I am as a person, which is great. And it took a long time, but, you know, I've got time in the world and still alive. So getting on RuPaul's Drag Race completely was a dream, but you don't know exactly how it's going to change your life.
They better widen the doorways and reinforce the runway, honey, because the big girl's in the house.
I'm Darienne Lake. I'm 24 years old.
And that's what I am, a real.
And I'm a compulsive liar. Some of the queens are pretty.
I'm going to say this very slowly
I'm prettier. Some of them are funny.
so you can understand.
I'm funnier. And some of them are big.
You're dumb.
But I'm bigger. It changed my life in so many ways. It changed me in being open to finding new best friends. It changed my relationship with my parents because they started to see that drag was not just silly stuff or funny business. You know, it was a career. It was a joy, a passion, and it was also a self-expression. And it wasn't a sickness. It wasn't a shameful thing. It wasn't in a dark gay bar. It was to be out on a stage. And we actually did a drag queen production of Steel Magnolias, which is my mother's favorite movie. And we had it on, it was on the local TV and stuff. The local news did a story about us doing this. And we were using it to raise money for AIDS Rochester. And we raised a lot of money in one weekend to do this production of Steel Magnolias, of us in drag. And up until that point, my mother was still very shy and not accepting of the drag. But then she came into the salon and I was doing her hair. And she's like, well, I saw that you did Steel Magnolias. And I was like, yeah, does this mean you have to move out of the country now because you're embarrassed of me? And it was on the news. And she's like, well, I didn't get any tickets, and you know Steel Magnolias is my favorite movie. So it was sort of that crack that I knew that like she's opening up a little bit to the idea that drag is not just weird and crazy and not just doing it for attention. So RuPaul's Drag Race really pushed that door open more now that she could have that dialogue with me and with my family of what it really means to be. So now she thinks that she can be totally comfortable and like make jokes about it, and I'm like, calm down, old lady. You're not that sassy yet. She thinks she can be shady now, which is hilarious.